StoryPit.com supports basic HTML tables. If you're already familiar with creating tables in HTML, please be aware that the StoryPit table functionality is somewhat more limited than the tables you may be accustomed to using. Tables in StoryPit.com are designed to display rows and columns of information. They are not designed to be used for page layout. If you have used HTML tables in the past, please be aware of the following limitations imposed by the StoryMaker interface. Table cells can include plain text. They cannot include images, links, lists, or any of StoryPit.com's other generated tags. Table cells can be merged across multiple columns, but they cannot be merged across multiple rows. The maximum size for any table is 5 columns and 20 rows. While these restrictions may seem limiting for more exotic uses of tables, they should allow enough flexibility for the intended purpose of StoryPit tables, that is, to display columnar information in support of your chapter text. In addition, these limitations are intended to ensure that the reader's interface displays correctly when you publish your story. Tables are created in 2 steps like all generated tags. The first step is to create the table using the Generate Tag interface. The second step is to copy and paste the generated tag into your chapter text. This tutorial walks you through the steps to create a table and place it in your chapter text. To begin creating your table, click the Generate Tag button next to Table in the Generated Tags section of the Markup Tags interface. After you click the button, you'll be taken to the TableMaker page where you can populate and modify your table until you're satisfied with the results. At the top of the TableMaker page is a preview version of your table. When you first begin the table creation process, you will see a table with the words Row 1, Column 1, Row 1, Column 2, etc. in the table. The default table is 2 rows tall and 2 columns wide, and the table border is visible. As you make changes to your table, this preview version will change to reflect your edits. Below the preview table and the words Edit Table Here is the interface you will use to make changes to your table. You can make your border invisible by selecting the Hide Border radio button, which will appear at the top of the Edit Table interface. As a general rule, it is best to create your table with the border displayed, then hide the border after you finish making your other edits. For this reason, the Show Hide Border option will appear only after you've made your first updates in the TableMaker interface. At the top of each column is the Delete Column checkbox. To remove a column from your table, place a check in the box and then scroll down to the bottom of the TableMaker page and click the Update Edits button. All tables must have at least 1 column, so the Delete Columns checkboxes will be visible only if you have more than 1 column in your table. Each cell in your table is represented by a text box in the Edit Table area of the TableMaker page. Just above each cell's text box are the Cell Text Format checkboxes. You can select any or all of these boxes to make the text in the cell bold, italicized, or underlined. The cell text box is where you will type the content for each cell in your table. When you first go to the TableMaker page, the boxes will be populated with the column and row number for the cell. To populate the cell with content you want, simply delete this default information from the box and type in your content. Immediately below the cell text box is a row of radio buttons for aligning the text to the left, center, or right of the cell. On the left side of each row is the Delete Row checkbox. To remove a row from your table, place a check in the box and then scroll down to the bottom of the TableMaker page and click the Update Edits button. All tables must have at least 1 row, so the Delete Rows checkboxes will be visible only if you have more than 1 row in your table. Immediately to the left of each cell text box is a column of radio buttons for aligning the cell text to the top, middle, or bottom of the cell. If your table has more than 1 column, a Merge checkbox will appear between each cell in each row. This checkbox allows you to combine 2 cells together so that they span across more than 1 column in the table. To merge cells, simply place a check in the Merge box and then scroll down to the bottom of the TableMaker page and click the Update Edits button. Please note that StoryPit table cells can span several columns, but they cannot span more than 1 row. To the right of the first row is the Add Column checkbox. To add another column to your table, place a check in this box and then scroll down to the bottom of the TableMaker page and click the Update Edits button. If you need more than 1 additional column, simply repeat this process until you have the number of columns you need for your table. Please note that StoryPit tables are limited to 5 columns, so the Add Column checkbox will not be visible if your table already has 5 columns. At the bottom of the first column is the Add Row checkbox. To add another row to your table, place a check in this box and then scroll down to the bottom of the TableMaker page and click the Update Edits button. If you need more than 1 additional row, simply repeat this process process until you have the number of rows you need for your table. Please note that StoryPit tables are limited to 20 rows, so the Add Row checkbox will not be visible if your table already has 20 rows. The Update Edits button appears at the very bottom of the TableMaker page. Use this button to update the various edits you make. After you click this button, your changes will be reflected in the preview table at the top of the TableMaker page. You can use this button as many times as you wish until your table looks the way you want. After you click the Update Edits button for the first time, a new button will appear just below your preview table and just above your Edit Table workspace. The button will have the following wording. After you have finished editing the table, click here to create your table's markup tag. When you are satisfied with the way your table looks, click the Click Here button to get your table tag. After you click the Click Here button, you'll be returned to the Markup Tags interface. At the bottom of the section, you'll see a new table tag with a number in parentheses. This is the tag you will copy and paste into your chapter text. Put the tag where you want the table to appear, then click the Update button at the bottom of the Copy-Paste Chapter Text section to save your tag. When you scroll down to the bottom of the StoryMaker page, you'll see your new table in the Review Finalized Chapter Preview window. Please note, if the content of your table is wider than the Review Finalized Chapter Preview window, you may need to do some side-to-side scrolling when previewing your results. However, please be assured that your table will not interfere with your reader's ability to control their text column width when your story is published. You can edit your tag at any time. To do so, simply click the Edit button next to the generated tag. This will take you to the interface for the tag, where you can make changes and update your results.